Welcome back to Overreaction Monday, week 16 with NSP. We got a great video for you guys today, but before we get into this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out. But today we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, all you Steelers fans out there. We're going to be talking about how far can they make it in the playoffs, all right? So we know they're going to make the playoffs, whether they win the division or not. It's right now up in the air. They're currently first in the rankings against the Ravens, but they just had this really tough loss to them on Saturday, 34-17. The Steelers do not look good. What's been so encouraging about the Steelers about watching them is yes, their offense is a little sporadic and not consistent, just because they don't really have the weapons they need to be really efficient. But their defense is going to keep them in games. In the past few games, they have not looked very good. Now, those are the top two dogs out there against the Eagles and the Ravens. Eagles scored 27 on them. Ravens put up 34 on them. But one of those touchdowns was a pick six, so really it was like 27 points. But still, so 27 in both of those games, their defense let up. Not really good when it's really you're supposed to be defensive first team. So really, how are we feeling about this Steelers team moving forward? Because they will make the playoffs. How far can they go in the playoffs? My reaction to them, and I've been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan since the beginning of the offseason when they signed Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. I was like, this team's going to go far, and they're going to be really good this year. And they have been, but I do think they're going to lose in the second round because that's when they will go up against one of the big dogs in the league. We've seen it against the Eagles and Ravens, those type of caliber teams that they're going to have to go against, like the Bills, the Chiefs, etc. They're going to have to go against one of those teams in the divisional round and be able to win one of those games. Their offense is not good enough, unfortunately, to be able to win those type of games. You're going to go against good defenses, good offenses. It's not a team that you're going to be able to laugh at and just shoo away, whatever. I think that the Steelers are in big trouble unless they fix their defense or fix their offense in the next two games, basically, because we're at the end of the season. Vincent, you were a little bit not hype about the Steelers going into this offseason, but you kind of been taking back your statement. You think that they're a good team, but how are you feeling about the Steelers right now after these two losses?
I mean, looking back at it, it's just like at the time when I said that they were a good team, and then they've gone through a lot of injuries. So Pickens didn't play this game that we're talking about, basically. So the Ravens went ahead and just put a smacking on them. It was kind of expected. I did not think the Steelers were going to do good at all this game with Pickens out. He's their big play guy, and he's the one that takes the first cornerback on the other side of the field. And really, Baltimore just looked really good. So again, I still think the Steelers are a good team, but I have to disagree with you. Like the second round exit, I think they might be a first round exit, depending on who they play.
Okay.
So again, we'll talk about it in some other videos. So make sure that you keep up with us here on NSP. Hit that bell because there are going to be some other videos coming out about some other teams that I think are pretty scary that could possibly make the playoffs. Okay. But yeah, right now it's just depending on who they face up against. If it's an underdog team that's actually doing good going into the playoffs, unlike the Steelers, I think the Steelers might actually take an L again first week of playoffs.
Okay. So there's still a lot to be decided about who the playoff matches are. But right now, if the season ended today, they would win their division and be in the number 3 seed behind the Bills and Chiefs. So if it was to end today, which there's still a lot of football to play, because the Steelers are facing the Chiefs next week, or on Christmas Day, we're going to see them face the Chiefs, which is not going to be an easy game for them at all. I think it's going to be very close, though. I think that's going to be a very close game. And then they finished the year on the Bengals. So that's a divisional game. They have to win that game, and they're going to be fighting for the division. I think that game, they're going to want to win that game, and Bengals are going to be trying to punch their ticket into the postseason on that game as well. So they got two very tough games to end the season. So it's not looking that great for them to win their division. But if it was to end today, they would be facing the Chargers in the first round, which Chargers are a good team, but I feel confident that the Steelers should be able to beat them. But it would be a difficult game no matter what. So But I think the Steelers could beat the Chargers. And then if they beat the Chargers, then it depends on a bunch of different matchups. But they would probably have to go against a Bills team or the Ravens as well. Either one of those type of matchups there. So it'll be pretty tough.
And that's why I think that either or, however it's going to match up. In the first week, they're going to have a tough team, and then if they make it to the second round, it's going to be just another tough team. Because right now that side of the playoffs is just pretty stacked, in my opinion. A lot of those teams have a lot of wins. A lot of them have a lot of momentum coming into these games. They're virtually pretty healthy. It's pretty much the NFC side that is all screwed up, injuries galore. AFC hasn't really been struck by the injury bug as much as the NFC side. So again, it could be totally exactly how Reed's saying, but I think going into this this first round, if they play either Denver, the Chargers, even if Baltimore falls down there somehow, like it's going to be a tough game against a tough defensive matchup in all three of those. And I don't think that the offense for Pittsburgh has it in them at this point in time. So that's where I think that they're going to have that first round exit.
All right. Well, hopefully they get healthy before then. I think they can make it to the second round and then get bounced there. Vincent thinks they're going to get first round bounce. Let us know down in the comments where you think the Steelers are going to do in the playoffs, or you think they're going to go all the way to Super Bowl. Let us know down in the comments. Remember to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and catch us tonight reacting to the Packer and Saints game on Monday Night Football. Till next time, keep on grinding, guys.